As the custodian of the country's gateway, we continuously seek to provide a seamless and joyful experience for you. The Butterfly Effect, a set of facilities and services specially catered to guests with hidden disabilities. The Butterfly Effect aims to ensure our hidden disability guests have a seamless and pleasant journey at our airport. We have designated areas for our hidden disability guests, and you will be specially assisted by our trained airport staff. The process is fairly easy and hassle-free. Should you need to use the Butterfly Effect, you can pre-register through Malaysia Airport's official website 3 days prior to your flight. The registration will allow the airport community to prepare for your upcoming travel, ensuring a seamless journey. Upon arrival at the airport, do look out for the Butterfly Effect logo. It is located between doors 2 and 3 at departure level KLIA 1 and at door 2, departure level KLIA 2. You may then proceed to the Customer Information Counter at Level 5, Departure Hall KLIA 1 and Level 3, Departure Hall KLIA 2. For verification purposes, please present an OKU card or a letter issued by a doctor stating the hidden disability condition. You will be given a butterfly kit containing a lanyard, brochure and leaflet on locations of the calm room and sensory walls. It is best to have the lanyard on at all times for proper assistance from our airport staff. Our friendly airport care ambassadors will happily guide and escort you from the check-in counter all the way to the boarding gate. As a Butterfly Effect guest, you may utilize the calm room located at Level 5 KLIA 1 before proceeding to the boarding gate. Our calm room is designed specifically to help individuals with hidden disabilities to regulate their emotions and calm their anxieties in the busy and loud airport environment. The interactive touch panels of our sensory walls help hidden disability guests to engage through their touch and sight, encouraging interactive explorations. Our Butterfly Effect guests will have special access at all checkpoints within the terminal. If your flight is at the satellite building, you may take the train or ride the bus and enjoy the scenery. At the boarding gate, you will go through the final round of security checks. Our aviation security personnel will give more time and flexibility to accommodate to your needs. As caring hosts, the aim of the Butterfly Effect initiative is to provide an inclusive and seamless airport experience for all our guests.
Good afternoon and welcome to our very first My Airports Butterfly Talk session, a webinar via Facebook Live and hosted by Malaysia Airports. During these sessions, we'll be exposing our audience to an often overlooked disability, which is the hidden disabilities. My Airports Butterfly Talk is part of the Butterfly Effect program, an initiative that has been introduced by Malaysia Airports for our hidden disability guests, such as individuals with autism spectrum who are traveling through KLIA and KLIA 2 as to provide care and support for these special guests. Airports are not always easy to navigate, especially for hidden disability passengers. Now, through Butterfly Effect initiative, Malaysia Airports has incorporated autism-friendly facilities and services as a step forward in creating a joyful experience for hidden disability passengers, ensuring inclusivity. Now, this is also the topic for today, which is the Butterfly Effect, creating a better experience for our special guests, and we shall discuss this shortly. This program will take about 45 minutes of your time, and we will have a Q&A session towards the end of our program. So if you have any questions related to today's topic, you may leave them in the comment section below. Right, viewers, before we start, I would like to introduce to you our panelists for today. Joining me, we have Puan Nik Anis Nik Zakaria, the General Manager of Corporate Communications Division in Malaysia Airports, who is responsible for the introduction and implementation of the Butterfly Effect program in Malaysia Airports. Thank you, Puan Anis, for being here with us. And our next speaker is Encik Muhammad Adli Yahya, the owner of Autism Cafe Project, and has been very active in creating awareness on autism, and even let go of his full-time job. I was told this, even let go of his full-time job in a prestigious organization to focus on the development of his autistic child. Thank you, Encik Adli, for agreeing to be with us here this afternoon. Thank you. All right, are we ready? Puan Anis and Encik Adli? Well, okay. We'll start the session with the first question to Puan Anis. Okay, so Puan Anis, tell me, we've seen the Butterfly Effect branding all over KL International Airport, and personally, I fell in love with the cute and inspiring design of the Butterfly Effect logo. With that in mind, Puan Anis, I would like to ask you, what is actually butterfly effect? Why butterfly? And what is the purpose of it? Puan Anis.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tiza. And I'd like to say hello to my colleague, Encik Adli. Hope you are well. Okay. It's unfortunate that we have to meet on the virtual platform like this. It would have been, great if we could sit together as a panel to discuss this very interesting topic today. But anyways, first of all, I'd like to thank the organizer for the opportunity for me to share some information about this initiative called the Butterfly Effect by Malaysia Airports. It is really an honor for me to be part of this session to discuss about a disability that is often overlooked by many, and that's called the hidden disability. Okay, so let me first explain what the butterfly effect is. It's actually a set of facilities and services which is specially catered for the hidden disabilities group. And as you know, any international airports in the world, of course, we've got facilities for the disabilities of OKU, but we've come to realize that this is no longer enough, because there is this other group where they are categorized as hidden disabilities, and these are disabilities that you cannot see, right? Physical disability you can see and you know how to treat them, but the hidden disabilities are often hidden. That's why we need a special way to recognize and also to deal with our passengers, our guests with hidden disabilities. So this actually started through some engagement that we have. We've come to realize this through engagement that we had with certain stakeholders like NGOs, like NASOM, that's the National Autism Society of Malaysia, ABC, Autism Behavioural Centre, and also some very active and concerned parents. So we had the opportunity to actually engage directly with some of the parents and heard about their challenges and their requirements and their consideration for travel with family members that has hidden disabilities. So let me just elaborate a little bit when we talk about the facilities for hidden disabilities. It's not just, of course, majority are people in the spectrum of autism. However, there are also others. For example, people with ADHD, dyslexia, sensory processing disorder or SPD, and also global developmental delay or what we call DDD. And etc. So these conditions require special attention and also special special handling when they travel at our airports. So that's how we came about with this initiative. So you must be wondering why we call it the butterfly effect. Yeah, so the reason we call it butterfly effect is because it's based on a theory whereby a small change in one state can actually make a very big difference at a later state. So we believe that by making some small changes at the airport, it's not very a big project or major, but little things that we put in place at the airport can actually make a big difference to our special guests, and can also alleviate the stress for travel for them. And for us, it means a lot more. It also means the freedom or enabling people with hidden disabilities and their family members to travel more comfortably and more conveniently. As you know, the airport is can be a daunting experience. Going through an airport can be a daunting experience. Even if you're a first-time traveler or an infrequent traveler, whenever you go to an international airport, it can be a daunting experience. Like you're not sure where to go and whatnot. So you can imagine how it is for people with hidden disabilities, more so for them and also for their family members. So what we'd like to do is prepare some small changes at the airport, some facilities and services that can make their journey more comfortable, more seamless, and more convenient. And it is about creating an inclusive society for us as well, because this will also involve other passengers. The fact that they have to understand that we need to treat people with hidden disabilities in a special manner, and also it promotes the inclusive society. I think the onus is on the airport to do that. And I'm quite proud to say that we are the first airport in Southeast Asia that has put in place these services and facilities for the hidden disabilities. Yeah. Thank you, Viz.
Thank you, Puan Anis, and that's a very interesting and also a noble initiative by Malaysia Airports. And I think being an inclusive society is the way we should be heading to. So, next question, Encik Adli. You have a son with autism spectrum, and
Yes,
for
I
the
have.
viewers' information, your son, Lukman,
Yes,
is also helping you out at the Autism Cafe project, right? Okay.
right.
So, based on your experience, was there any previous challenges you had traveling through the airport with Lukman?
Yeah, I think about more than 10 years ago, we were traveling through the airport, the Subang airport. And I think those days, a kind of a new discovery about Lukman ability and disability. So I left the airport. He was traveling to Kampong, balik Kampong, to Kota Baru. So he was traveling with his sister. So I didn't went through the journey with them. So I left my daughter and my son Lukman at the airport, and off they went. And off I went back home. And I think about 10 minutes after that, I got a call from the airport asking me to come over to the airport, and because Lukman simply refused to budge, simply refused to move from the seat. And I quickly went in, turned around, and go straight to the airport. And the wonderful thing about the airport personnel that they knew what's happening. I mean, your communication couldn't be any more better than that. They knew. So when I went there and parked my car, and I went with seamless experience right to the security and all, straight to Lukman's and his sister. And Lukman was being overwhelmed by the sound of the aircraft. And when he stepped into the tarmac, it was a daunting experience to him. It's kind of overwhelmed him. So he refused to budge. So the airport personnel was very helpful, even though we don't have any calming room or whatever it is, but they were very, very helpful. So we managed to get Lukman into the aircraft, and I leave after that. So now I knew after that what to do when we come to the airport again. I always stand by the earmuff, so the sound of the aircraft doesn't go through him as loud as he can hear, because they are different. We can hear the level of noise of the aircraft to them probably 100 times louder than what we hear. So it's always, now we knew, and when we went to the airport, after that, we requested for the earmuff, and the airport authority kindly lent us one. So it's a-okay after that, you know. But now I think he has overcome that. He need not to have earmuff anymore, and he's okay now. So that was an experience that I learned, we went through, and I learned that before we embark in any journey, we just need ourselves to get prepared properly. You know, if we knew he can't stand noise, we move somewhere that is less noisier. And if we can't stand sunlight, we move to the place where the waiting area is far away from the screen or whatsoever. You know, so you just got to prepare yourself for this eventuality, lah. So far we were okay, but those were an experience that we went to at the airport those days ago, 10, 15 years ago.
What an experience. So, Encik Adli, do you think that the butterfly effect program at the airport here that we are currently embarking on will be a game changer for the parents of individuals with hidden disabilities?
Oh, definitely. I think what you guys did are simply wonderful. Simply wonderful, you know. The fact that sometimes when we went to the airport, our boys, you know, get overwhelmed. You knew already what are the symptoms. What you have the knowledge already, so it helps us a lot. It helps us a lot. You know, you have the facility, and your staff is well equipped with the knowledge of autism, of certain disability. So it helps to make our journey much easier than it was before. You know, before this, the knowledge wasn't there. I mean, as far as what we went through earlier at the airport, I told you earlier, was sometimes we got a look from the parent, from the staff, and all, you know, from the audience, from the public, that, you know, what kind of parents are you? You're leaving your child like this, you know, kind of thing. So, but now, if you are well equipped with knowledge, now you know that you know what to do. If there's something wrong, you know what to do. So it helps us a lot. It helps us a lot. In fact, the calming room, I was so glad that you have one calming room over there. You know, if someone says the calming room doesn't work, they're lying. It really works to calm their tension, you know, to calm their uneasiness. It really works, because we went through an experience last time with Lukman at another place. He was a bit agitated, and we put him in a calm room. It helps to lower down his tension. It does help. And the wonderful fact that you have staff with knowledge about autism, that helps abundantly. That helps abundantly.
I think that's what we're trying to do right now, you know, to make everyone feel at ease and comfortable when traveling through the airport. So appreciate that. Appreciate your sharing, Encik Adli. Now, coming back to you, Puan Anis, what are the facilities and services provided under the butterfly effect? I think Encik Adli also just now mentioned about calm room. You know, perhaps you may want to explain a little bit further. And also, what has Malaysia Airports done to ensure the readiness of the facility once the borders are open and people get to fly again?
Okay, Hafiz, thanks for the question, and it's really humbling, you know, to hear about the experience that Encik Adli has mentioned just now when he was traveling with his son, because I think this is exactly what we strive to do at our airport at KLIA, and with all our staff, the airport community at KLIA. Actually, the butterfly effect initiative was ready in early 2020. Okay, we introduced it in early 2020. We had the facilities ready. We have a calm room at KLIA main terminal building at the departure hall, and also we have implemented 10 sensory walls along the terminals at both KLIA terminal as well as KLIA 2. But unfortunately, the MCO happened, and we were hit by the pandemic, so the facilities has not been fully used or fully tested yet. Although we have had one or two guests that had used the facility, so it's really encouraging to hear that these facilities will help. And what we have now is at KLIA, as I mentioned, we have one calm room at the level 5 departure hall, and this is something that can be used, as Cik Adli was mentioning, for the special guests to, after they check in, for them to rest, or for them to go to be shielded from all the noise and the crowding of an airport. Under normal circumstances, the airport can be quite intimidating for these people. So we have the calm room, which is available for the families of with members, family members with hidden disabilities to use. And after that, when they are ready to move to their gates, along the way, we have also prepared what we call the sensory walls. So there are 6 at KLIA and there are 4 at KLIA 2. So at any point, during the journey to the gate, if there was an incident, and you need to bring the child somewhere, so you could go to one of the sensory walls and hopefully, help to calm the person down for the rest of the journey. But it's not just about the physical facilities. I think more importantly, as have also been mentioned by Encik Adli, I think the human touch, the skills, the training, the understanding of how to deal with this special guest is very, very important. Yeah, so it's the soft skills that we needed to prepare all the airport community with. So we have collaborated with ABC, or Autism Behavioural Centre, to provide the training, not only for the airport staff, but also for all the other airport communities, for example, the airlines, the government agencies like the immigration, the ground handlers, that will do the check-in processing and all that. As well as the retailers, because along the way they might stop at certain shops. So, even the retailers have been trained on how to handle the hidden disabilities. And I think, it's very important because, it's about the human touch. It's about understanding what is required by this special guest. In order to use the facility, you can pre-register. We've got an online registration form. So we would encourage persons with hidden disabilities, or the family members, to register at our website at least 3 days prior to the travel. And this is for us to prepare for your arrival, to facilitate us to prepare for your arrival. And also upon arrival, then you can proceed to the info center or info counter and submit your pre-registration, and you will be given what we call a butterfly effect kit. And the butterfly effect kit will contain a special lanyard. The lanyard with the butterfly design is very bright and cheerful, and there's a reason for that. Because, when you wear the lanyard, then it's a way for us to identify that this person has hidden disability. And also, there are also information brochures inside to tell you about the different services that's available, and also the location of all the sensory walls and also the calm room. Now, a special service that we provide for people with hidden disability is the priority access, especially when going through security checkpoint, going through immigration, because, even standing in the queue can be quite stressful for them. So we will provide priority access. That means they can cut the queue and they can be processed first when going through all these checkpoints. If let's say you did not get a chance to register, you can still go to the info counter and register as a walk-in guest. But you must make sure that you have at least the OKU card or a letter from your doctor stating the condition of the hidden disability. That's just for us to validate. Okay, let me see. Uh, Another thing that I think I would like to highlight is the fact that the airport has also gone through a lot of enhancements for the processing, the services and the processing of the passenger. Also due to the pandemic, because for safety measures, we have also digitalized many of the processes. We have also upgraded our system to be as contactless as possible. So for example, if you go through the body screening services now, you go through the security screening. Normally, they will have to pat down. If you beep, they will have to pat down, right? We don't do that anymore. Number one, the body screening is completely contactless. Of the time, people will go through quite seamlessly. But even if you need to be further checked, they will be using the handheld scanner to scan. So it's a lot less intimidating, especially for people who are sensitive to touch. So I think this will also help make that journey more seamless. And we will also be introducing the biometric identification. So now, going through security checkpoint, starting December, you can just pre-register your biometric identification, and in this case, it is your face, your and when you go through the airport, your face will be your ID. So we call that facial recognition. So you can just go through all the processing checkpoints quite seamlessly, because the system will just recognize your face. So there's no more, no more need to produce the boarding pass, because all these papers sometimes, can be quite distracting along the way. So we are trying to make it as seamless as possible, not just for the safety of all passengers, but I think it will also create a better experience and a more, seamless, more friendly journey for people with hidden disabilities. So we are really looking forward to that, because for us, it's about making, like we mentioned, and She Adli also mentioned just now, that to make that journey a lot more comfortable, a lot more friendly, and less stressful and less hassle for them. So we are really looking forward for the airport or for travel to resume. The airport is always open, but for travel to resume, so that we can welcome all our guests to the airport soon.
And instead, it's actually great initiatives and plans in store for this special guest that we have, that you and your team has already planned. So I hope this initiative will give benefits to them, to our special guests, and reduce their anxieties while traveling through the airport. Now that the government is starting to ease traveling to ease the traveling SOPs, and domestic travel is picking up a bit, so we foresee that the airport will be buzzing again with passengers, and we really do hope that these facilities will be of value to our special guests. For the viewers, we are still open for questions. So please ask questions on anything on the autism spectrum, or the butterfly effect program that we have in at the airport. Please post your questions at the comment below, yeah, and we will read it out and we'll get the speakers to answer for you. Right. Now, one last question to Inci Adli. With your experience and journey with a child with hidden disabilities, what else would you recommend or suggest for us to be better and more inclusive airport for everyone? Do you have any tips?
I think you're doing wonderfully with the butterfly project you're doing now. I think it's wonderful actually. And I applaud that very much. I think an airport is an airport, but what makes it so different is actually the personnel, the staff. So you have the facility, and having staff knows about autism. We'll be very specific about autism. That will help us a lot. You know, but having said that, we shouldn't leave everything to the airport. I mean, the parents must get themselves ready when they want to embark for a journey. They don't just leave it to the airport and do everything. They shouldn't do that. So they got to prepare themselves. Prepare accordingly. With, if possible, if they need to have earmuff, have your own earmuff. Don't ask from the airport. But as I said, like. The personnel at the airport will give a tremendous support. If you knew about autism, then you will it will help you to prepare yourself to do better approach to the individual. Let's, for example, you seen a meltdown. So when you knew it is a meltdown, you know how to approach them. You shouldn't be telling the parents, hey, you should do this, you should do that. Parents know much better. But when you are equipped with knowledge of how to approach certain situation, like when meltdown, you shouldn't approach the kid, but approach the parents. So the parents know much better. The parents will be able to tell your personnel that he's needed something. He is sensitive to sunlight, or he's sensitive to noises. So you approach the parents. If you have those kind of knowledge, it will help us and it will help the airport. Instead of turning an airport into huge noise, huge brawl, so-called, huge incident, you approach the parents and you manage to handle the situation much better than you're supposed to. So equipping the knowledge of autism is a great help. It's really a great, as I said again, an airport is an airport, but what makes it so different is actually the personality. And I must applaud you guys, for doing this effort. I really am. I really am proud, being Malaysian and being so proud of the airport. I don't think the other airport has done this so far. So as I said, again, give a good knowledge to the personnel. Having once a month kind of talk, about autism. It's just not a talk about autism is this and this and this. Sharing the parents' experience to the staff. That will be much a better approach to me, because you're touching people's heart. So when you touch their heart, they will understand us better. So that's my thought line. As I said again, I'm so proud of you guys doing this. I'm so proud. So thank you very much on behalf of the other parents here with special needs child. So I thank you, the authority.
Right, thank you, Encik Adi. What a great tip. There are certain tips that you mentioned just now that I just learned about it. Very helpful tips and guidelines that we can use the next time we're traveling with children with disabilities. And these tips are not exclusive only to parents, but it will also benefit everyone too, our community, as we need to understand better what's going on and how we can assist the parents if needed. Yeah. All right. Do we have questions? I think I've got one question here. Okay, we have a question here. Apart from KLIA, will this facility also be available at other airports?
Okay, thank you for the question. The question was, apart from KLIA, do we plan to have this facility at all the other airports in Malaysia as well? The answer is yes. Eventually, we do plan to do so, but we are starting with KLIA simply because KLIA has the highest traffic for all compared to all the other airports. It's got about 60% of our total national traffic. So we thought it's a good test bed to start with KLIA, and we are still piloting, and we do encourage the users of this facility to continue to give us feedback so that we can further improve and make it really seamless and make it work as well as possible. And we are looking at also introducing similar services at all the other international airports as well. Yes.
And it's a relief that to hear that we have plans to have this similar kind of facilities at other airports as well. Okay, I see that we have another question. Okay, the question is, what is your advice to calm a kid when he is overstressed or overwhelmed by the environment? So I think this Encik Adli can help us with this.
I think if you're coming from the parents' perspective, yeah, I always do this with my son. Whatever action taken, whatever traveling that we require to do so, we always avoid something that makes him something that he dislikes. For example, if we want to travel somewhere that is noisy, he can't stand noise, so we don't travel to that part. Let's say we were supposed to travel to New York, kata lah, and it will be a daunting experience. As noisy as it is, we try to avoid that. So we do something that they like. So when you want to travel, let's say to a certain place, please choose the place correctly, so it doesn't really overwhelm them. Now, having said that, if you're looking from the perspective of by a meltdown or tantrum going on, as I said, to calm the kid down, because you don't know what he went through. So the best option for you to go to calm the kids down is to ask the parents what is wrong with him, what is his dislike, what caused him to throw tantrums. So you don't go and tap his shoulder, whatnot, because tapping his shoulder could cause him another meltdown. So it's the best, as I said, the best approach is always to go after the parents. Talk to the parents calmly. What's wrong? What can I help? Because the parents should be the best person to advise you what is the next course of action. So I think that's my kind of advice. And having a calm room helps a lot. I can tell you, it helps a lot.
Okay, I think we have about 5 more minutes, and we have room for one more question. And this question is okay. How much does it cost for us to use the facilities provided by the Butterfly Effect program? Is there a fee to it?
I guess that question is for me, Fiza.
Yes. It's for you, Puan.
Well, we when we embarked on the Butterfly Effect initiative, it is actually a corporate responsibility program for Malaysia Airports. So it's our CR program, and hence, we made the investments to build the calm room and also to put up all the sensory walls. So it is offered to our guests free of charge as part of our corporate responsibility program. So we hope in the future, for the other airports, we can work, we can do similar things, or we can also, work with partners, to see how we can further improve the facilities as well as to offer it at the other airports as well.
Okay, thank you, Puan Anis. That's good to hear. It's complimentary. It's free of charge. So just approach our frontliners at the information counter to get the services, and definitely they will help you. Okay, it's now
That's right.
3:41. I think that is all the time we have today. It is a very interesting sharing about these new facilities at KL International Airport, and it has always opened my mind to something that many of us are oblivious to previously. With this new knowledge and also insight, I hope we can work together to create a more caring and inclusive society. So if anyone has further questions, please feel free to visit our Facebook page, Malaysia Airports Official, and leave us a comment so that we can get back to you with an answer. I would like to thank our speakers again, Wan Nik Anis and Ichi Adli, for being with us here in our FB Live. And we truly highly appreciate your sharing and
Our
hope to
pleasure.
see you again soon. Thank you so much, Puan Anis. Thank you so much, Cik Adli. And for the audience out there, we have many more interesting topics to be discussed in the next My Airports Butterfly Talk in the coming months. In fact, I was informed that the next session will discuss on what are hidden disabilities. So I'm sure it will be a very good discussion, discussion and also engaging. So until then, stay safe, stay cool, and see you again. Thank you.